Who's talking in the background? Bring him on the mic.
Let him say hi.
Waka waka waka.
Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Welcome. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Welcome back to number 15 of DBM Cast. Yes, 15. We're going on for a long time now. And today, we have the matchup that you guys voted upon. We ran a tournament of champions in our server, and we're actually running one right now. So if you haven't submitted a matchup, or if you're not in the Discord, join and submit a matchup. But today we have something very special. Sauron from Lord of the Rings versus Ganondorf from The Legend of Zelda. There's me, there's Pin, and there's Germ, but Germ's name is not Germ right now. Do you guys want to say anything?
Hello.
You guys want to say hi?
Beetlejuice versus the ghost.
Let's not.
Well,
The wound's still fresh on that one.
I'm the one judging today. I don't know anything about what's going on between these two in scaling, so I'm the perfect fit to judge, non-biased, which I will be.
Will you?
You like Illumination movies. You're already biased.
I can like whatever movie. I like bad movies and bad matchups. Okay,
Okay.
it's gonna be.
Should we just get into this? Because I know
Alrighty.
the people have been waiting.
Since I'm the judge, I'm taking control of this live stream now.
Shall we start with what we start with normally and go into the backgrounds?
Sure thing. Mr. Saul Goodmoss, please tell the audience who Sauron is.
You'll have to excuse me because I only know Sauron from the movies. But basically, Sauron is a thing known as a Maya. Imagine them as like angels. Whatever. Blah, 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 blah. There was this big war between like this guy called Morgoth. You might have heard of him. He had a blog against Sinestro that one time. That's pretty much what everybody knows him for. Anyway. But Morgoth fell. But he had a few allies. And one of them was Sauron. So Sauron is a manipulative and crafty motherfucker. And you might know him for one particular thing. Making the One Ring to rule them all. Which was a ring which he planned to use to dominate the minds of man and elf and dwarf. It must suck being just not one of these, you know, one of these things. In Lord of the Rings. Anyway, they didn't really like that, the men and the elves and the dwarves. They said, "Fuck you, Sauron!" And as you might have seen in the movies, boom, all of his fingers go off and he explodes, but he's not dead. He lives as the Eye in Sauron's tower. And basically through his will and influence and army, he tries to get the One Ring back from Frollo, who is currently trying to take the ring up to Mount Doom. Nothing much really happens apart from that. It's just kind of your... Well, at the time, it was a very great fantasy story, but it's very generic now. Frollo makes it and destroys Sauron once and for all.
Oh, and they lived happily ever after?
I guess.
Alrighty, that's a good description on I-Man. Moving on, Jim, tell us...
Is that Cronin Slinger?
Yeah, Cronin's going to be in the chat, I'll be honest. Sorry, Cronin, I'm going to ignore everything you say.
We already have a fraud check on Sauron. Oh, that was quick. Okay, Germ.
I just know that. I just want to say, I just know that. No offense, Cronin, you're going to be trying to fact check me on everything. That's not what the cast is about.
Cronin, fact check him.
So I'm not going to be reading it.
Who is Ganondorf?
Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm not too familiar with The Legend of Zelda. Like, I'm a general fan, so sorry if I get anything wrong. Well, no, like, I'm just saying, like, I get the general gist. If I get anything, like, wrong, don't hang me. To my knowledge, the original Ganondorf was born into the Gerudo tribe, like, 100 years ago, as, like, the only male in that species. Eventually, he grew into, like, a powerful and feared warlock who wanted to, like, basically expand his kingdom, like to other places. And then he goes for the Triforce. He becomes all evil and stuff. Then Link beats him up. And then rinse and repeat because of a curse that a guy from Skyward Sword put on them, I believe.
Demise, is it? I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah, I think it's Demise.
Mm-hmm.
Demise these nuts.
Okay. Lead us. Oh, Judge.
Okay. Now that we had some good description on what these two's backstories are, these deep, rich, intrinsically complex characters, let's move on to stats. Get a good baseline of what these two's, physical abilities are. Let's start with Sauron.
Do you want the complicated or the easy?
Let's start off easy to ease into it.
We'll ease into into Sauron's kind of stats that I can put numbers on, right? So the death battle, I think, put him at island level through shaking the ground and Mark 600 or something, but there's a lot more going on. There's a big, good, juicy scaling chain through characters like Gandalf, a very powerful wizard, and I need to... Yeah, so he should scale to other Maya, right? And the most important one here is a Maya known as Orion. Mm-hmm. And Orion is responsible for moving the sun. Yeah, there's a... it's books, so there's a statement where this Maya Orion moved the sun.
So we have sun-level Sauron in terms of power.
Yeah, there's some other stuff that I can get into, but...
How did he move the sun, if you know at all? How did he do that?
I haven't checked out the actual scan. I can send
Did
it.
he, with his bare hands, push the fucking thing?
From what I'm just understanding, that he just managed to move it. But basically, what is it? Sauron should be at least decently comparable to Morgoth, because from what I've received from some beautiful, helpful people, by the end of the Second Age, he was compared in power to Morgoth, or at least the One Ring was, and the One Ring is kind of interlinked with Sauron.
Okay.
And Morgoth was able to also disrupt the orbit of Earth or the Sun. It's kind of interpretive in primeval times. Which gets to 640 zetatons to 12,000 quetatons, which is in the range of planet and star level.
So star level Sauron is very viable
for now. Yeah. Okay.
I get that. But speed is still Mach what?
No. I was gonna go into speed.
Okay.
So there's a couple other speed stuff. So you have Sauron within the Shadow of War game, which is, I'm pretty sure, just kind of decently canon to the story. There's a character called Celebrimbor, and Celebrimbor can slow down time to the point where lightning bolts and light arrows are perceived in slow motion. And Sauron can just move as quick as he can during this and blitz Celebrimbor. There's also...
So very fast. Then.
Yeah, I was also told to bring up that infinite speed.
Okay, I need to pay attention to this because this is going to be very questionable to me, but yeah, I'll listen to it.
So basically, Morgoth. So Morgoth actually isn't dead. They technically kind of killed him in there, but he's not dead, right? Yeah. He's kind of locked. I say kind of because he's not really. He's locked in something known as the Timeless Void, which he can just kind of escape from. Which is a infinitely sized place without time. Obviously, without time stuff is a bit weird for scaling, but it being infinite size should mean that.
Is he literally physically leaving it or like teleporting out?
I think he's just physically leaving it from what I've seen.
Okay. That's kind of crazy.
I will double check a few things right now, and
because like that does a big difference with there. But like, I'll trust what your statement is. I'll believe you 100%. Infinite speed, Sauron, I believe it, and star level and power and strength.
Yeah,
got it. We'll start there for now. Let's move on back to Ganon. What does Ganon have in terms of stats, Jerm?
So.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Y'all good. You could just make stuff up and I'll believe you, probably. I never played much as Zelda game, so I would not.
Okay, so to my knowledge, it is looking like Here, let me find it. So I have a bunch of tabs pulled up. I'm seeing that.
Oh, chat's cooking. You saw.
okay.
Chat's cooking.
Kinda.
I will talk about it more if I need to.
So he can when he becomes Demon Dragon Ganondorf, he can move a blood moon close to the planet, which basically can get to 13 to 69.4 ronatons of TNT.
A rotaton? What's that?
How would I know?
Okay. So he's moon level then?
Also, he should scale to here I found this one as well. He can also Calamity Ganon can just move the moon. He's done it multiple times apparently, which gets again to like 13 to like 3.3 yotatons and 13 to 69.4 rotatons.
He does this like magic, not like with his hands.
He created an eternal night and a big storm over the Great Sea, which is 59 gigatons of TNT.
Wait, an eternal night? Like he made like the sun and the moon stop moving?
Here, let me pull it up so I can see exactly.
I can also talk about more on the infinite speed stuff because I do want to clear some stuff up now that I looked a bit more into my notes.
Go ahead, just really quick.
Well, Jerm is searching, but basically, it's not just breaking out of the timeless void because Morgoth will eventually, but has eventually broken out of it, and it's like the, like the Goku Black, not the Goku Black, the Goku Beerus Clash, how that gets to really high speeds with the shockwave.
Oh, it's like that.
Exactly, but also Morgoth has just like explored the entirety of the void, right? He's explored the entirety of an infinite space.
And how long was he in there?
Like years. It's still infinite. It wouldn't matter how much time.
No, I'm saying like maybe it could like be scaled, theoretically speaking.
No, because if you were exploring, it doesn't matter how long you explore infinite for. Being able to explore infinite for any amount of time would still make you infinite speed because you are able to reach the end of infinity.
So he's very fast.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, really quick. I should probably say, we can all agree he scales to Link, right?
Yeah, we don't have to get into that.
I don't know. That.
So by scaling to Link, he can get to 24% FTL and 245.26 C. I'm not super familiar with how numbers work, so I'm just saying these and hoping you understand them.
What's C mean?
C is like what they use for
usually
light
that's
speed.
used when
Light speed feet.
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not super good with like exact numbers.
No. You're all good. So he's pretty fast then, like very fast.
Yeah, he's pretty fast, and then also debatably, I'm pretty sure I'm not entirely sure about this. He debatably might scale to the creation goddesses, which created the entirety of Hyrule. Which
is Hyrule like a universe?
I believe so. Yes.
And to go back to what I was talking about earlier, he caused an endless night. So did you look into that? Like, did he literally stop the sun and the moon from moving?
It looks like it was mostly like a quote of a guy going, "Oh, he plunged us into like eternal darkness," which was probably a like he probably either like blocked out the sun, like made clouds or something. I would assume
it's a little vague there because you could also attest it to just like
he caused a
darkness hacks, even.
Yeah, still, it's not like the biggest thing in his
Because
like that's not even like his biggest feat anyway.
Because there's a similar feat for Sauron of him making the world dark, and the like world could be infinite in Lord of the Rings. There's arguments for that.
So he has potential to get universal injury.
Yes, he can like potentially get to uni from what I'm seeing. Also, there's like a cosmology thing for Zelda, but I'm not entirely sure like what exactly would like creating Hyrule would entail with the cosmology.
Well, what's the cosmology look like? Is it like multiple dimensions, or it's like infinite dimensions?
It's like multiple timelines, parallel worlds. I believe other like pocket dimensions, other dimensions.
Okay.
Like that sort of stuff.
Is there also a multiverse for Lord of the Rings at all?
I could go into Lord of the Rings cosmology, but I think we should dedicate a segment.
Okay. Let's. So, any more?
Oh wait, my bad. I can. Wait, sorry, 1 second. I completely missed this. The goddesses also created millions of alternate worlds with their breath slipping through cracks in space.
And why can Ganon potentially scale to them?
Because
you said like debatably they could, but like, what's the debatability about it?
To be completely honest, I like really need to look into it more. But if Majora who has one game can potentially scale to them, I think Ganon, the main villain, probably can.
That's
okay. That's good enough for me. That definitely needs more research, but I can accept that. If I can accept infinite speed Sauron, I need
to. Like, sorry, I'm a bit all over the place right now.
It's okay. I'll give you grace. Let's put a cap on stats for now. Let's move on to the more interesting part. Their powers, their hacks, their magic. Let's start with Mr. Ring first.
Okay, so I'll just go over some basic like equipment and stuff. Sauron has a mace which he can shapeshift into a sword. And he let's just get into the One Ring, shall we? So the One Ring...
Oh, wait, sorry, really quick. Can I say one more thing?
What is it?
I'm seeing people in chat saying that apparently Null like scale. I think they're saying Null scales to the creation.
Spamming it. I didn't even look in chat. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think they're saying that Null.
I will time out people who spam.
It could have used silver. Oh my god. Go ahead, Jerm.
But yeah, I think they're trying to say that the Null. I think he's the new villain in the Zelda game. I think they're trying to say that he defeated the like the goddesses, and Ganon would scale to him.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Okay, I can buy that more than the Majora thing. That makes more sense to me. Okay, sorry to interrupt, Saul. Go ahead, go back to the power sets.
Yes. Okay. As I was saying, so
I think you're on his mace or whatever.
I'm going to talk about the One Ring for a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because the One Ring is fucking insane. So people might say, if you remembered the death battle, they're like, oh, the One Ring could be destroyed. No, not really. So basically, the One Ring is the powerful thing that was forged in the Mount Doom, which allows Sauron to have control over the other rings, because he gave the rings to a bunch of people. So the One Ring is protected by Sauron's soul. And give me a minute. So yes, Sauron's own soul is just kind of protected. It's kind of hard to explain. Give me a minute. But sorry. Yeah, so basically souls that have free will within Lord of the Rings are just completely protected by Eru.
Oh god.
So Eru is like the god of the universe. The creator of the Lord of the Rings verse.
if I got what you're saying, so souls in Lord of the Rings who have free will are protected cosmologically by the ultimate god.
Who is the only one who can destroy them, and Sauron's ring is interlinked with his soul.
So therefore the ring is protected by the god.
Yes.
Okay.
So about the ring. So the ring grants invisibility, immortality, and a longer lifespan to those who have it. It can take control of people's minds, and people who are more like evil and badly natured are more than likely to get corrupted. So one of the examples is Smeagol, who was like a killer and thief, who instantly got corrupted by the ring, compared to Frollo, who is like the good natured protagonist, so he didn't get corrupted like until a few days into his journey. If the ring was ever to get removed, he can telekinetically pull it back to him, and it wouldn't destroy his power. The ring would need a new bearer for that to happen, but then obviously he can just telekinetically pull it back.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good.
So Sauron is something called an Anur, which basically they were sent to Earth and lived out existence during the First War, and they have true forms. Basically, their bodies can be completely destroyed and like nothing will happen. They can just remake their bodies. For if I get it correctly, give me a minute. They can regenerate their body and their souls as long as they're not below the point of recovery. But that has to come with, I mean, they can be completely disintegrated and destroyed and come back, you know? You'd have to have super layered. Anyway, going into some other stuff. Sauron can fly. He can just fly. Which is stupidly funny.
I'm just imagining him, like, he is, like, in the final fight against the guys, and he just flies away.
Yeah, I don't remember this stuff from the movies.
I know. But, so Sauron and other people like Morgoth directly attack the spirits and the souls. So just whatever they're doing is attacking the souls, and Sauron just has really passive fear manipulation.
Actually, I will ask: does that mean that every attack they do directs the soul, or is it just like they can turn that on or off?
Well, it's just even the people that Sauron can bring back to life, because he can bring people back to life, as necromantic servants target the soul. So I think it's just a thing they do.
I think it's like you have to like, here's the soul hurt spell. It's not like he swings his mace and it hurts your soul. I don't think it's like.
Anyway,
Okay, I was just confused whether or not it was an automatic thing, like you can't turn it off.
Sauron can remove the powers of other people. Or can like,
whoa,
yeah.
Wait, what? How?
So there's two parts of this. He nullified the foresight, so, you know, mystical foreseeing of Gandalf and Eldrod, and nullified Finrod's illusions, and removed certain trolls' vulnerability to light.
Ganfrod.
He can possess people at will, and just take over their bodies. His malice is so fucking just...
Wait, malice?
Yeah, his malice
what the fuck?
is so powerful, it influenced the misfortune of an entire generation.
And this dude is a servant of another guy.
Yes. Well, no, he was directly compared to Morgoth. The One Ring was directly compared to Morgoth by the end of the wave.
And can I ask, maybe it's different in the novels, considering he has like all these abilities, and soul protection stuff. When the ring was dropped and like that ultimately did kill him, why did like the soul protection stuff not work then?
Because Mount Doom was where the ring was forged.
So only Mount Doom can destroy the ring, unless like you have like reality warping erasure or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a bit more abilities that I wanted to get into.
But
sorry, really quick. I just want to say, guys, I have the document on Gloom. I'm gonna bring it up later.
Okay, that's fine. But souls. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention more soul stuff. Souls just cannot be destroyed. Maya, like Sauron, have displayed the ability to absorb and merge souls together. as Sauron did to Celebrimbor. So Celebrimbor was a dead guy who existed within Talion, who Sauron can just kind of pull out. Should one wish to harm the soul in any way, apart from absorbing or merging, they can just directly attack these forces, as shown by Sauron. If their energies are diminished enough so that they wouldn't be a threat or force anymore, that just doesn't matter, because outright killing them is impossible, as Tolkien, the creator, has stated. Valar, like Sauron, are able to just utilize, make a body and just make themselves fight a lot more.
So it's really hard to kill Sauron.
Very, very, very difficult. There's some other stuff I could go into, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give...
Let's put a cap on that really quick. Germ, what is Ganon's powers, weapons, and abilities?
Okay, there's a lot, so I'm gonna try to go over just the important ones.
I go into it because Sauron had a lot.
Okay, so he has, he can shoot bolts of energy. They have homing properties. He can reflect magical attacks. He can fly levitation, and also he can just fly.
Can both fly. They can both fly.
Fly in battle.
He can teleport short distances and teleport other people. He has shape shifting and sorry, I have a speech of it. Incorporeality. He can turn into a shadow, enter a spiritual state, transform into a bat. He can resurrect people from the dead. He can summon himself. What?
Wait, what?
What do you mean he can summon him? Oh no, can summon spectral knights. Can summon spectral knights to battle alongside him and specific minions. He has telekinesis, telepathy, more intangibility, invisibility, dimensional travel, and BFR. He can create a gateway.
Whoa. Dimensional travel and BFR. What the fuck?
To quote, could create a gateway that would allow him to move between the light world and the dark world, can open portals to the gap between dimensions and banish his targets, and he can send people into the dark world.
So, he raises his finger and says, bye-bye, and they get sent to the dark world? Is that what happens?
It doesn't seem like it takes effort. I'm trying to pull up an exact.
We should have done it to Link. What a fucking idiot! What an idiot!
To be fair, Link's abilities sort of just go nuh-uh.
All right, keep going. Sorry,
he has elemental manipulation, fireballs, earth manipulation, lightning, weather. All your average villain stuff. Life creation. He can. So I'll just quote this. Created Goma to act as the root of his death curse and created a sentient puppet of himself. Avatar creation can create offshoots of himself, such as Aghanim and possibly the wizard that worked with the Prince of Hyrule. He can create weapons, afterimages, more portals, barriers that are magical. Illusions. He can give people his powers. He can nullify powers. I'll go ahead and quote that since it might be important here. It was his magic that allowed Zant to nullify the power Midna held as the leader of Twili, dispelled several magical disasters that couldn't previously be nullified by other magic users. He can absorb power for empowerment. He can absorb the agony and hatred of the Twili. Shockwave generation, paralysis inducement, sleep inducement, transmutation, sealing and crystal manipulations. He can seal targets within crystals. Explosions, biological manipulation, disease manipulation, curse manipulation, pocket reality manipulation. He can create small pocket dimensions within his tower that sends the Link into time periods where he fights old bosses. Time manipulation, something eternal night, preventing the sun from rising and bringing the morning with it. Spatial manipulation, create a maze that's spatially...
He prevented the sun from moving?
Quote, time manipulation. His curse on the Great Sea also locked into an eternal night, preventing the sun from rising and bringing morning with it.
So, he's sub-level then. That's what it sounds like to me. Is he not?
To be fair, we had him scaled to but I don't think him being sun level is really that important, considering we established oh yeah, he potentially scales to the uni multi stuff.
I'm just saying that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. But he does
have the Triforce in this.
He does just. He obviously would have the Triforce of power. I don't know if we'd give him the full all of the Triforce.
Okay.
Would we?
I'll go by what you say, James.
No, you probably would just give him the one half that he has, or one third that he has.
But yeah, spatial manipulation created a maze that spatially loops onto itself. Can distort the space around him to invert his opponent's movements. Mind manipulation, mass manipulation, death manipulation, minor reality warping. And that was his base form. He also resists paralysis inducements, fire manipulation, like most in transmutation. With the Triforce of Power, he can resist soul manipulation, unholy manipulation, / corruption, like being turned into a demon. He also gets regeneration, deconstruction, longevity, darkness manipulation, unholy manipulation, like normal, like most stuff that you would think he has. Well, apparently he gets a thing called Twilight Magic, which gives him matter manipulation that allows him to break down his own body into particles and then reform himself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Teleportation by Twilight Magic, in general, requires breaking down people and or objects and particles and restoring them back to their solid state. Selective intangibility, possession. He possessed Zelda's corpse.
What the fuck?
Creation of light absorption.
It's like
can...
a clear meme where like Mysterio pretends to be MJ. It was me, Link.
And then he has soul manipulation, and then quote regeneration negation. Low godly, the sword is capable of bypassing Ganondorf's regeneration and killing him. And even after being revived by the Triforce of Power wound that he received from the sword, didn't heal even by the time he battled Link hundreds of years later.
Okay, let's put a cap on Ganon really quick.
He has one more thing, but I'm hearing that is like a really big win con, so I think we can save it.
All right. So, we've heard a lot of powers from each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ganon had shit I had no idea about, which was crazy. Let's talk about their win cons for a second. Before I forget, I want to go back to Ganon just really, really fast. Way earlier, you said he absorbed hatred or something? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he absorbed. I believe it was that he absorbed all of the agony of the people of Twilight.
And
maybe it was like
if I remember, Saul, didn't you say that Sauron radiates malice or something like that?
It's just kind of like he makes people scared.
Okay, so it's not like he's like his pure hate is literally
no, I wouldn't say
he's like couldn't get it. It's like yummy snack.
I mean, sure, but it wouldn't kill Sauron.
Okay, so let's talk about what are Sauron's win cons against Ganon.
Ganon cannot kill him. There is no way in this debate that Ganon can kill him. So basically, this is where we get into cosmology stuff. But remember that god character I talked about in who is above the entire verse? Uru?
Briefly, yes.
Uru tried to kill Sauron. And remember I stated before he's the only one who can destroy his soul.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted him dead. He tried to kill him, and even though it sank the entire land of Numoro, Sauron lived. Just straight up lived.
So,
because he's tied to something called the Flame Imperishable. So the Flame Imperishable is the true power of Middle-earth. Think of it like how the Triforce is the true creation power of the Legend of Zelda verse. But instead of having like 1/3 of that, Sauron is interlinked with that. The Uru is the only people who can create souls. It's described the creative, the mystery of the authorship, where the author would remain outside independent of its work. The seemingly indestructible soul within Middle-earth, even by Uru himself, is begotten directly from Uru. So Uru is kind of like the Tolkien of the verse, right? And
he's like, I can't touch this soul fire.
He just couldn't kill Sauron. So Sauron can just completely remake his body anytime during the fight, and even if he wanted to fight his true form, they are able to move through past and future by speed alone.
Okay.
So they would be immeasurable. So that's just one win con, right? That's just he can live forever. My other one is that no matter what, Ganondorf cannot resist any mind manipulation that Sauron has through the ring. While you might be able to argue, and there probably is an example of the ring being able, not the ring, the Ganondorf being able to resist my manipulation. This is layered. So we all know Gandalf, my favorite person. He has something known as like the barrier of unwill, and it exists within every single individual's mind to prevent mental penetration. Sauron has just broke through that.
I heard about this. I've heard that he broke through Ganon.
On Gandalf's.
Yeah, Gandalf's.
On Saruman, and the best part about it is, with the Saruman example, he did this from range. So, as soon as the fight starts, the ring is going to be corrupting him. And remember I said the ring corrupts those who are more evil? Ganondorf is going to fall within the few seconds of the fight. And it's layered, so even if you have...
Oh, boom.
Literally, it is the Lich passive, but it's actually passive, because it's just part of the ring's existence. Apart from...
Now, not to counter you, Saul, but has there ever been examples of somebody ever resisting the ring?
I think there's been examples, but it's from more good-natured characters, you know?
There's one character I remember he is the ultimate god of Lord of the Rings, who's like... And he fucked around with the ring. He did not care about it. He like put it on and didn't even work.
It would probably be Uru, but Uru is the high tier. He is God.
It was like it's like almost like Mr. Pizzling. He's called something else. I forgot his name now.
But even that
chat. Do you know his name?
But I forgot to mention that the Anu cannot be harmed by conventional weaponry.
But the ring. Sauron can technically die if the ring goes into the volcano, right?
Sure, but also I wanted to mention this because I remember that Jim brought this up. I wasn't a know who did that, whatever. Sauron is immune to BFR.
Oh, okay. How? I need to hear this.
Yeah, because
Because it sounded like Ganondorf had lots of ways to do that to Sauron, so I need to hear it.
Give me a minute, I need to find this, sorry. I've got so much.
Because that's what I heard a lot, because Ganon can hold out his finger and says, "Bye, Sauron," and send his ass like the or something else.
Do you want to give the floor just so they can talk?
Tom Balabli, thank you, the administrator. That's who resisted the ring.
Oh, Tom Balabli.
I think... Yeah, that dude. But he's like really special in Lord of the Rings.
But also, I think the immunity to BFR comes from the fact that Sauron doesn't have a body. Right? He can't. He just has the true form which can travel through past and future, right? Well, yeah. Because if he was removed to a location, he gets rid of the body and just makes a new one.
If he can go through past and future, why didn't he just go to the future when the protagonist died?
Why didn't Ganon use any of his powers against Link? I raise a little bit of an eyebrow to that.
That's just how it would work, though. How can you explain to me how that would raise an eyebrow to you? Okay, explain how BFR would work when he can unmake his body and just remake it.
Well, why would that stop BFR?
Well, I guess it wouldn't stop it, but he could reverse it.
So
I guess his main point is
go to Saturn. Okay, how is that going to stop him from going to Saturn?
Because then he's back.
Really quick,
he just kills himself in Saturn and brings himself back. Kills himself. But he unmakes the body.
Okay, so I think Saul's trying to say, since he has a true form and he can just like kill his mortal coil and then come back somewhere else thanks to the true form.
Yeah.
So what? Is he like fucking Alucard omnipresent? He can go anywhere he wants.
That's.
Well, it's like,
can you just talk, Doom? I'm not gonna deal with this.
Okay.
I'm not gonna deal with it. You're not helping.
Germ, what are?
Okay, I'm trying to help you out for a second. I think it's just the true form can't get BFR'd because it can go through like past and present, future.
That I totally understand. I understand.
No. You know what? I'm going to talk about the inner physiology. So let's talk about what the true form can do for a minute. I was going to save this till later, but you've gotten to me now.
What I do?
Not you. It's So the inner can directly manipulate fate. Through conceptual manipulation and almost all various components that constitute reality. But that's not important, whatever the fuck. I'm going to go into their resistances. So, they are resistance to sound manipulation, mind manipulation and telepathy, soul manipulation, matter manipulation, empathetic manipulation, death manipulation, illusion creations, just magic, perceptual manipulation, immortality negation, void manipulation, regeneration manipulation. Give me a minute, I need to... These notes are just so big. Yeah. Also, it says here that, so there's this thing called the Door of Night, which can trap people within the timeless void.
Okay. And Sauron can do that?
I'm assuming that's what I'm reading here from the Vala stuff, from none of the Inno stuff.
Okay. That is very good to know, and I will keep that in mind. Germ, what are Ganon's win cons against Sauron?
Okay, also, before I get into it real quick, if you hear background noise, I have a family, sadly, so...
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good, buddy.
That's just them. So, I think the main things I should dive into is, something called... So, basically, I think... Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Apparently... Okay. So I think I should go through some of Ganondorf's regeneration, because killing him is not going to be easy. So he can reincarnate / resurrection. He's very resilient. Like, you can stab him in the brain and he'll just keep going.
So his regeneration is very, very good.
Yeah, that's just resilience. He has eternal life when he becomes a dragon. And then there's okay. Ganondorf can act as a spirit and reform his body with 0 issues. Calamity Ganon, as a more ethereal being, it can make a body for itself as well, though it might take a while. Ganondorf's greatest showing of regeneration comes from Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. After Link kills Dark Beast Ganon, we see his body start dissipating, but we see his spirit reform shortly after. And then basically, what's it called?
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm trying to think and read at the same time.
It's okay.
Basically, it's his soul comes back, sort of, and it's just he can just recreate his physical form, I believe.
So a lot of similar things to Sauron can do then. So once his body's destroyed, he can come back or something like that.
I believe so. He also resists soul manipulation. You can't just destroy his soul. So Sauron won't be able to just kill him when he's a soul. If you get what I mean.
Counter argument. Yes, he can. Remember how I said about the thing about the gold guy protecting the souls? That doesn't just go to Sauron, man. That goes to everything with free will within the Lord of the Rings verse. It's a verse-wide resistance, right? So, yes, he should be able to destroy Ganondorf's soul, unless you have proof that he's resisted on the higher cosmological scale of the Lord of the Rings.
Well, isn't there a thing in Zelda where Ganondorf, Zelda, and Link will be reincarnated no matter what? Or something
Sure, then that would be 100 years after the fight? Cool. He still wins. Discord would eventually come back against Bill Cipher. They could still argue that Bill would win.
Yeah, that is sort of... I do think, even, you would have to, completely destroy his Ganondorf's, physical body, and then he would turn to a spirit, and then you'd have to kill the spirit. Which the spirit can, reform.
Unless...
So I still don't think killing him would be, easy.
Well, no, because Sauron can directly remove and destroy souls. He doesn't have the limitations of the physical body. Also, yeah, the same thing applies to Sauron. Sauron will just never die. Morgoth wasn't killed. He was just kind of shoved into the timeless void. And then broke out.
Does Ganon have any way around Sauron's, power-taking ability? His power suck?
His power suck?
Mm-hmm. Does he have any way to resist that at all?
His power suck.
Okay. To be completely honest, I was trying to read and I didn't register what exactly the power suck is. Saul, would you mind explaining it again real quick?
I would mind. No.
Oh, okay.
I would just have to find it again. Give me a minute. Sorry.
Okay. While he's doing that, would it be okay if I go over one more thing?
Go ahead, buddy.
One more thing.
So, this is like relatively new information to me. So sorry if I like take a bit, but basically, it looks like there's a thing called malice and gloom, which basically. Malice is a manifestation of abstract things. Malice, in essence, is hatred. Calamity Ganon is brought into existence through the manifestation of hatred. This is also more consistent with Japanese translations.
Okay.
Given that Ganondorf was completely destroyed and regenerated with malice, it's reasonable that this isn't just a feeling, and not this isn't just a feeling, and not just any mist being formed. That's hatred itself manifested to regenerate Ganondorf. Malice stems from Demise, and Ganondorf is the reincarnation of Demise's hatred. Demise is an eternal being that is the source and root of all evil, as well as the source of all monsters.
That's actually a pretty good argument, Germ. He's
basically now
the concept of malice and hatred. Then,
now that you know kind of what it does, basically, or what it is, it can, like said, it can like regenerate. It allows you to trap souls, tear out souls from people. It can corrupt and take control of monsters, people, technology, and powerful spirits. Anything under his control acts according to his own will as a form of like a hive mind. He can absorb powers of the divine beasts. He can create copies of others, people attaining their skills and abilities. I accidentally clicked on a link. Uh-oh.
He can create copies of people?
Not only can he exist in an abstract state with malice, as he is hatred itself, but he can manifest as a spiritual state, notably Calamity Ganon's gaseous form.
But you said earlier he can copy people?
Yes. Let me go back to it.
Like
power absorption plus power mimicry.
He can create another version of that character.
Malice is also able to create copies of others. So I believe it is. I believe he copies whatever. Like he can copy other people.
Like he copies
copies?
Something.
Yeah, so like I think he would be able to make like another link. I'm not like. At least that's what I'm picking up. Sorry, I didn't like look super hard into this. Also,
did you find the power suck?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was spaced out for a minute. But
it's all good.
There's also a few counters that I do want to get into. But basically, he was able to nullify the foreseeing abilities of Elrond and Gandalf, and could nullify Finrod's illusions, and can remove the Trolls' weaknesses. I do kind of want to get into the conceptual stuff because we are running out of time.
Okay, really quick. How does he like do that though? Is it like just like he like puts his fist up and like he
literally
like,
he just kind of does it. I mean, I think it's just kind of like he was there and it happened.
I think he did it to Lich King at the end of the death battle.
Mm-hmm.
So
Anyway.
like,
okay, if you don't mind, it's okay if I go over like this last little bit here.
Sure, because I need to get into this stuff.
Malice can instantly kill people just by afflicting them. He can resurrect minions. He can manipulate the bodies of monsters. He can shoot energy beams and such. He can make things turn berserk. He has durability negation. And then he has Gloom, which has durability negation, vitality manipulation, healing negation, strength manipulation, power nullification. Merely touching Gloom renders people completely drained of their strength to the point one cannot move at the most minor contact with it. Gloom affects the spirit and the body. It can reap the soul with a single cleave. It can wear down the body of its user, and merely fighting Ganondorf can corrode weapons and equipment. He can create he has sleep manipulation, curse manipulation, corruption. blood manipulation, duplication, sealing, mind manipulation, and time manipulation. Ganondorf can not only force visions into Link and the
I
sages,
thought
but
you had
revert
one
the
more thing you
entirety.
wanted to go into. This is like Simon.
This is the final little bit here.
But it's not, though.
Okay, Germ, we're gonna put a cap on the mouse.
Jesus.
Okay, sorry. I just want to
I
say,
really
you
wanna
can't
Oh my
say-
god, I'm like, we
Okay.
don't have time.
Okay, just
We have
one more thing. One more
time.
thing.
We,
Germ, just
we
one
don't
more
have
thing.
we don't have a 30-minute cyber controller debate.
Just
Jim.
one more thing, Germ. Just one more thing. What do you want to say? Go ahead. What's the one last power he has that will do it? Germ.
Sorry. I'm trying to. Okay,
What's his last power?
Okay. Time manipulation, and he can resist existence erasure and mind manipulation.
Perfect. Now, what did you want to get into, Saul?
I wanted to get into what the... So I've been informed by the chat, who are being very annoying this cast anyway, no offense, about how it's not kind of a true form, it's his form before he entered the real world, right? But basically, they can manipulate concepts. So the whole he exists as hatred and demise can just be manipulated and removed. Concepts like evil and rebellion have been like introduced by Anu. There's such stupid terms here. What are these terms? Whatever. I'm gonna get into some of the.
So Sauron has the ability to manipulate concepts on a grand
Yeah,
scale.
and also the inherent inability of Anu to be slain within the context of the Legendanium.
Chat, I love you. You guys gotta just chill sometimes. I love you guys though.
Suggests that they should be able to survive the inherent conceptual manipulation of fellow Anu. So basically, because Anu can kind of just always come back, they can't like be manipulated with their concept, you know?
Gotcha.
Because they can always come back. Anyway, there's a couple other things I wanted to get into, like how the Valar are have like holy manipulation.
Oh boy. Okay.
Holy manipulation, yeah. Which is like granting blessings and stuff towards groups of people. Enhanced mind manipulation. They are considered greater minds to all but the gods. They can peer into disembodied minds at ease, with them being able to completely open the view. They can bypass the barrier. So yes, they can actually bypass it. So I was correct in my assumption for there. They fate manipulation. With being said have a world. What it sound like an even greater my Valor could recreate the music and confines. Oh yeah. A diminished Morgoth was capable of bending fate to their will by designing the future of their enemies. And that's weaker.
Okay.
That's a weakened Morgoth who a prime Morgoth Sauron was compared to be above.
How much time do we have left?
Like 10 minutes. We probably should get into our final argument.
Okay, so let's start with Sauron. What are Sauron's final closing arguments to win this cast?
So, Jim hasn't brought up anything that would bridge the monumental speed gap between both immeasurable and infinite speed feats I've brought up. Sauron should be blitzing the entire fight. Sauron cannot die, and Jim has provided kind of just no evidence that nothing will work. Even if something like the gloom happens, it likely just wouldn't work, as Sauron could just put down a new body. Sauron can manipulate the concepts, all the heebie-jeebie, whatever. I didn't even get into the potential out-the-verse of Sauron arguments, which people say, oh, they got debunked. I was providing new arguments, thank you very much, by people who probably know a lot more than the average people in the chat sometimes. And also the passive mind manipulation from the ring, which is completely layered. And I've actually mentioned how it is layered. Yeah, that's my final arguments. And then you can turn into a wolf.
Germ, what are Ganon's final arguments against Sauron?
I think that I think that Ganondorf with the gloom, like, I don't think that Sauron, at least his physical form, can really do anything, and also I think his true form would be affected by the gloom, which would corrosively kill him. And I think that Ganondorf is just, like, even if you tried to argue, his will would be like overshadowed or whatever. Just like touching the gloom is still like a like it still will like kill you. So I think that the gloom is sort of hard carrying here. I don't think that you can really kill Ganon thanks to his malice stuff. I think that his regeneration is too good. Even if you tried to kill him, he would like just affect you in a way that you cannot really counter. So that's my main argument. Also, he can turn into a hog.
So I'm gonna give my thoughts about this whole thing. Firstly, chat votes. What the fuck is going on in there? Okay, I'm not gonna comment on what's happening in the chat votes. So overall, I honestly, Germ, overall when this cast was being talked about, and if you guys are in the server, which you probably are, it was being discussed how Sauron was going to, absolutely stomp Ganon. But honestly, Germ, for kind of like a half last minute argument you kind of did, you did a pretty good job, I feel like. I didn't like a lot of their abilities are very similar to each other. A lot of like the bodily deconstruction and soul, like holding yourself together, that kind of stuff. That's very similar. The big problem that I saw here is I didn't really hear any like good arguments for Ganon being able to like resist Sauron's soul destruction that he has. And well, I do think like if Ganon could somehow, he does have telepathy, right? Like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, he could figure out that the ring could be going to, get into the volcano, and that could kill Sauron. But also, Sauron would know that Ganon knows that and act accordingly.
I know, you know.
Yeah. And while that stuff with the gloom and the doom, that kind of stuff, that's very interesting for this argument, and I think that could potentially contend with the true form. I think that Saul did bring up a good point with the true form. Having a good argument for abstract manipulation that could affect Ganon's gloom and doom, then like the mouth and stuff like that. Overall, and I think what Saul made up a good point of this big speed gap. Even if overall Ganon has the higher maybe like strength arguments with the universal mother stuff, I think the speed gap is just way too large for him to capitalize on that. I think that this is a lot closer than people probably think it is, but overall, I am going to give my vote to Sauron.
Yay!
But I did think I do think you did a really, really good job, Jerem.
Okay, we can agree that's over. So can I say something real quick?
I also put.
Go ahead.
I also put.
I'm not trying to like change the vote.
I also put. I'll end the poll right now. So it's Ganondorf has won the poll by.
What the fuck?
It was 50-40. I told you this would happen before. By the way, Pin. I absolutely called it.
Why,
guys? Why did you vote it? I love you, Jerem, but come on, like.
I will say, like, I do think even like I do think if Sauron touched like the gloom, like even no matter how fast he is, it would just be instant death. Like, bro just dies.
You should have got into that.
You guys are never gonna get to vote on another cast again. They convinced me to bring it back last time, but this isn't happening again.
Why did you guys vote it? I'd love to hear an argument, chat. I honestly would.
This isn't. I hope you guys know. After Steve Spelunky, I had to have a talk with them because I was full on like, right, I'm not letting them vote again. Yeah.
You know what?
Honestly,
my vote counts too.
I think Ganondorf actually kind of stands a chance now. Beforehand, I thought he was going to get absolutely destroyed.
Well, I didn't know he had telepathy. Like, he had stuff like that, which I thought that Sauron had.
I forgot to bring up. Yes, he does have telepathy, and also the barrier of unwill would apply to Sauron as well. He'd also have the barrier.
I also think Sauron's just like smarter and more crafty fighter than Ganon is.
I just want to mention, can we acknowledge how hard this would go as an episode?
Yeah,
it would be amazing as an episode. I didn't know Lich King got stomped that badly.
I'm saying someone take this with a grain of salt because it's Cronenslinger, but Sauron has no access to all of this, so okay, I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know any Lord of the Rings lore, so I can't comment.
Neither do I. You all voted for this. If you all hated for this, don't vote for it. I'm just gonna say it right now. If you don't think that if you didn't enjoy this cast, don't vote for something that you think that you wouldn't enjoy. Motherfucker, I wouldn't have done this cast. I am not educated in Lord of the Rings. Actually, give me a minute. Thank you to Coach Boomer and MKF4, who were the two people who were very huge researchers on the Morgoth side of Sauron versus Morgoth, who came to me and helped me develop my arguments today, because without them, this cast would have been shit. But you guys wanted it. So if any of you complain about this shit, I'm just going to say, well, you voted for it. You guys chose it in the end. This could have been... Shit, what was on the last one? This should have been Has Been Hotel Adam versus the devil from the Bible.
Oh, I thought you say Has Been Hotel Adam versus Record of Ragnarok Adam.
No!
This could have been Bradford Buzzer versus Mr. Grizz, baby!
We'd actually get True on here, but no, he wanted to watch the Fortnite event.
Also, I enjoyed the cast, and I think Jerem did a good job. He did not get the
quick, real quick, while I'm at it, thank you, Silver and Restaurant Worried, for helping me out.
Well, we know who voted for Ganon.
I voted Stalemate because I was trying to stay unbiased.
I did that Stalemate because I was like, this is kind of confusing to make a call on. I kind of would like to see this get a blog sometime to truly know who wins this.
The true form stuff, I need like a lot more like context.
I need to know.
That was a lot for me to process, especially like on the cast. I was like, oh.
Even then,
I just like to correct everyone.
I do just think that the infinite speed and the just layered mind hacks should just get him the win, even outside of all of the.
I do think that
existence
is making his puppet. To be honest,
I will say it's like I would have to look into it more, but I do think like the gloom being able to just kill anything that touches it and also affects like the soul of the thing touching it is like pretty good.
But then you also have the soul. But then you also have the soul cannot be affected by people in the verse because of the god.
And a hobbit beats Sauron, which is kind of ironic. Which is kind of the point of this.
Wait, now that I think, Sauron is technically Bill Cipher. They were beaten up by a little guy.
Is that DBM? There's a new matchup for you.
I enjoyed the cast.
If you don't know, we're doing so this is a tournament of champions matchup that we held in the.
I said that at the start. I said it at the start.
Well, I'll say at the end. Yeah, we're doing another one on the Discord. Please submit your matchups. What you want to do? We'll all do a voting in like how many days, Saul?
Like 4 days.
Yeah, we'll do a vote in a couple days, and you guys and us will be able to vote on what wins. Make sure to vote for Alex versus Xavier. Be a great cast.
Don't make me do that one.
Biased much?
And don't make me do a more.
Apparently, I'm gonna do that one all by myself, so I would literally have to debate myself. So.
Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I don't know, it was a bit iffy for me to debate for. We'll be back eventually. We're not really on a schedule. I mean, these kind of used to be every 2 weeks, but then we took the break. And now it's just kind of, you're probably just going to get casts when we want to do them.
And that's better, because when we have fun, we have fun.
Of course, it'll be more towards the weekend still, since a lot of us are busy. But
yeah,
you could get them every...
Anything you guys want to plug?
Oh, me and True are still working on Doomsday Duel. That's still coming out. Hope you guys didn't forget about that. I was going to say, but more importantly, it isn't. Vlad Plasmias versus the Scare, the blog that I'm working on, should be out tomorrow if all things go well, so check that out. Pin, what do you want to plug?
I have Amore versus Room. I scheduled the thing with Ben, Chad, and Sam and Liam. If you guys want to do art, I'll try to put it in and show it off to them. You can do that if you want to. Jerem?
Check out, what's the name of the villain from Danny Phantom?
Vlad Plasmias.
Check out Vlad versus Strange Supreme.
Oh, that matchup I made. Cool.
It's pretty good. And Beetlejuice
Also-
Ghostbusters never happening, chat. Sorry to break it to you.
At this point, it's never happening. Well, no. It
Maybe
will.
next Halloween.
At this point, it probably will happen sometime down the line. It will just be whenever.
They'll probably just do it randomly.
Yeah. So now I'm expected. Anyway, bye everybody.